welcome Dumpster Goblins.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? It's going, Trey. How's your week, life, day?
I have been horribly sick.
Still?
Not really. I can't get over this horrible racking cough, but besides that, I'm pretty okay.
It's healthy.
Yeah,
got to clear out the airways.
Exactly. I just love when all of my coughs sound super wet and like I'm dying. Hopefully none of you listeners have to deal with that.
Nah, it's alright. That's what we have editors for.
Don't edit it. Don't you dare.
I'll just edit into a 2-hour super.
Yeah, of just me hacking into the microphone, just really phlegmy coughs. Everyone needs to hear it.
Well, and then there's going to be some weird dude in Minnesota who's just sitting there like, oh yeah, this is what I needed.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, got back from work. I was going to go to phlegmycoughs.com, but then I found this.
But anyway, so I think we got a couple things to talk about.
Yeah.
You want to lead in? I know the two. You know the two that I have to talk with you about, and we have to air our things. But why don't you start with the new one?
I literally just finished it. Jessica Jones season 2. I think I talked a little bit about it last week. Yeah, I finished the whole thing. I was cleaning my room, and I was just like, all right, I'll just throw this up. And I ended up not cleaning much, and actually just watched like 4 or 5 episodes in a row. But it's really good. I actually was impressed. I think it's a little less scatterbrained than the first season was, which was my biggest complaint with the first season, where it kind of felt like it didn't know where it was going sometimes. Like, it almost felt like the writers were kind of, like, ad-libbing a little bit. Like, they obviously had an end goal, but they didn't. It's sometimes, like, the episodes just seemed really out of focus. But this one seemed like they knew what they wanted from the beginning, and then it was very much a mystery for most of it, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. Was it the same villain? Was it David Tennant again? I never watched the first season.
No, it wasn't David Tennant this time. I mean, I guess it's a spoiler, but it's not David Tennant this time. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years, and I feel like that show's wildly popular.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most of the people who listen to this will either started it or already watched it. But it was really good. I really liked it. It was incredibly depressing. Oh my god, nothing good happens to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that kind of Jessica Jones' whole shtick in the show?
Yeah, like it's a very, like, they really want to push because like, Punisher is super violent, and so is, like, the rest of them, but, like, it's still a superhero show at the end of the day, like Daredevil and stuff. Like, bad things happen, but for the most part, it's usually decent. Like, there's usually an uplifting bit at the end, but it didn't really feel like that. Like, the last scene was kind of uplifting, but, like, the end of it was, like, only one character that I can think of actually, like, got better as a result of the events that happened. Everybody else, like, ended up worse than where they started. I guess you could, like, in a twisted way, a couple of characters kind of got better, like, made progress, but it's sort of like a backwards, twisted, awful progress, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. Like I said, I think on those shows, I'm just so far behind at this point. The barrier to entry is like...
I mean, especially because they're fairly connected. I think Jessica Jones is probably the least connected, in the sense that, like, Luke Cage was introduced in season 1, but besides that, there's not a whole lot. And Jessica Jones wasn't super important in Defenders, so it's like, it feels like her stories are kind of separated from the rest of the Netflix MCU.
Okay, so it's not like the actual, I don't want to say the real MCU, but the movie MCU. You can, like, skip around, kind of. They're not
they're self-contained. Like, all of them, they'll have elements that are that usually lead into the next thing that comes out, like, say, Daredevil season 2 and Punisher, or Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Like, there'll be elements from those things. But for the most part, it's they're very separate. Like, you're not gonna have to.
Yeah, it's not like watching a Captain America: Civil War, and you have to know all of the other Marvel
exactly. Yeah, or like going into Avengers, either of the Avengers movies, you can't really they're not gonna explain who all these people are. They kind of expected you to know. But this one is like, since it's Jessica Jones is Jessica Jones's story. You could make a case for Daredevil and Iron Fist being pretty connected, but, like, they're connected in, like, a overarching kind of way.
Yeah, and then like Luke Cage and Punisher are also kind of their own things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're pretty separate. I haven't, full disclosure, I haven't finished Punisher, so I have no idea if that like somehow wraps around to something, but I have to imagine. I think the closest they'll ever get is like Daredevil, because Daredevil is, I don't know, like again, I don't know if like that one character from Daredevil has already showed up as far as I've gotten in Punisher, so that might be like a thing that just happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, I might check it out. I think it's interesting. I'm glad superhero shows are taking off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm glad that it exists, but at this point, I'm so like I should have just started watching Daredevil back when it was a thing.
Right.
I feel like Daredevil came out when Netflix was in their live action heyday, so like you couldn't trust every show they made back then.
No, you couldn't. And this was like Daredevil was one of the first things that they Netflix original series. If I remembering correctly, I don't think they really did that many Netflix originals back then, but then like Daredevil took off so hard that they were just like, oh, I guess we can just keep doing this, like Daredevil and House of Cards. Like
I think it was House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. I think was starting
that was a little bit later, but
and still
it was they were all so good that they were just like, okay, I guess that we can just keep doing it. Now there's so many Netflix originals, I can't even keep track of them all.
No, I feel like for a while, like, I don't know. I feel like with Netflix original shows, like, for every good idea, I don't realize that there is as many as there is, and there's so many of them.
There are an obscene amount of like, if you go to Netflix right now, you could probably find like 30 Netflix originals that came out in this year alone. Like, they come out so fast and so often that like it's like one of the like every one like. Yeah, like you said, like for every one that's really good, you'll get like 4 others that are like either or like decent to like rating from decent to like actually bad. There are some actually bad things in Netflix.
Yeah, I'd say there are a couple that are actually bad. I know like one of the best examples I can think of is I don't know what dirt they got on Will Arnett, but I know that he has BoJack Horseman from them, and BoJack Horseman's probably one of my favorite TV shows.
Oh yeah, period. That's I think I told you my story of I watched the entire thing in one sitting.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah, that's right.
Get together to watch.
Yeah, that's right. We were gonna get together to watch it. I remember, and all our friends were gonna get together to watch it, and then like we were like, oh god, we did it bad. We watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I just watched the whole thing because. Especially like that show, I feel like gets better every season.
Yeah, it gets better every season. The writing gets snappier, and like the characters get way more deep. So it's just like,
yeah, that's the thing. It kind of hasn't. You're familiar with the concept of flanderization?
Yes, right? Yes, I have. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. For the 2 people listening who don't get it, the example is you take a character. It's named after Ned Flanders from The Simpsons, and basically over the years he went from this character who just kind of, was religious, but also had like more character depth, and then he just kind of became this religious punchline.
You take 1 or 2 defining character traits, and you turn that character into only their character traits. Like right now in The Simpsons, Ned Flanders is only super Christian. That's like his only character trait now.
Yeah, and it's just kind of that, but I like how in BoJack they haven't done that yet. Like Todd keeps on doing all these weird things. He's got to be one of my favorite.
Todd's great. Mr. Peanut Butter and Diane, as much as I like to rag on them, I do think that they're good characters. I just think that they're frustrating to watch because they don't know they know how they know how to be happy, but they just won't do it, and it just frustrates you.
Yeah, like I think it was 2 seasons ago or something when Diane was just being the worst person, and I'm like, man, I still like her as a character, but she's terrible. Yeah, like
they're bad. Like that they're just bad, but like I can't. Like, they're well written. I can't fault the writing here. It's more just it's hard to root for Diane. she just sabotages everything she does. It's ridiculous. Like every time she gets a moment where you're like, oh, Dan's okay, and then just like the next second she just ruins it. She just ruins it, and then that's it.
Yeah,
Mr. Peanut Butter is alright.
Again, we could probably ramble on BoJack for a while, but that's kind of. Like I said, Netflix shows can be really good like that, but then like I don't know, stuff like Orange is the New Black, I really like for 3 seasons,
which is bad. Yeah, anybody who thinks it's good, you're wrong. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong. Fight me.
Yeah, people are entitled to their wrong opinions.
Exactly.
I'm sorry for that, Trey. Maybe we should do more challenges at the end of this episode after we talk about the next 2 things.
Oh yeah, we do need to do challenges, don't we? I need to find something you'll hate.
Yeah, I mean, I already know. I don't know if I'm going to do hate. I've got one that I just want watch. It's Dragon Maid. You already know.
Okay. Okay. If we're doing good things,
we can make it official later.
If we're doing good things, I can find something.
Yeah, we'll get there. But let's kind of spear in. If you want to talk about, speaking of something you wanted me to watch, if you were done on Jessica Jones,
I'll just one last thing is like I do think that if anybody who watches it, you should pay attention to the themes of it because like I think that kind of they pick one theme in particular that they just kind of hammer home the entire season, and if you catch it, then it makes it all the better. So just watch it. I think it's good. Oh. I think it's one of the better Netflix Marvel MCU thing. But anyway, yeah.
Like I said, I might have to. Yeah, I might have to get to it. Yeah, but I can talk. So I finally finished after years of you trying to get me to finish it. I finished Hunter x Hunter, the whole thing now. Okay. And I think I watched in one day. I think I watched like 30 episodes of it in a day the other day. It was just like 10 hours of watching it. I think you might not. I mean, I'm very torn on that show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like there's a lot I liked about it. I liked all the things the characters did. I liked a lot of the characters. Some of the designs were cool. The fights were kind of cool to watch, too.
Right.
But I still don't think it needed to be as long as it was. And I know we've talked about it before, but so I stopped watching at the Chimera Ant arc, which I think should have just been the entire show, honestly.
Yeah, like from the start to finish.
Yeah, or really, I think I just got burned out on Greed Island because Greed Island.
Yeah, I think that's the stepping stone because like I think the rest of it's pretty. I think the rest of it's fine personally. I think they could have ended the anime at the Chimera Ant arc. Honestly, like at the end of that, it's supposed to like keep going, but I get why they kept going.
Yeah, well, I mean, the anime they only went on for like another.
Yeah, they didn't go too much longer after that, but like I just thought that the Chimera Ant ending was just so perfect that I didn't want it to keep going, especially considering that there was so little left to go through.
Well, I think they just wanted to be happy, so not.
They didn't want to end it like as sad. I bet,
yeah, and it was nice. So I mean, to kind of spoil at the end of the anime, which isn't the end of the series at all.
No,
right? Like
the series is actually ongoing. I don't think he'll ever finish it, but they don't have enough to do another anime. I'm sure they'd love to, but there's just he puts out chapters so infrequently that like he takes hiatuses all the time, which frustrates the hell out of me because I think it's Togashi. Yeah, Yoshihiro Togashi. Yeah, he's the one who wrote it. For those who don't know, he's actually married to the person who made Sailor Moon, so dude's loaded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's dude's loaded as hell. He could hire someone to finish Hunter x Hunter for him if he wanted. I'm sure he has notes. He could do that. I don't know why he keeps just not. He took another hiatus in the middle of an arc. I'm really upset with him.
Well, didn't it just start back up at the beginning of this year?
Yeah, for a bit, and like he did probably the best fight scene in the whole series. I think like 2 years ago, like hands down, it was the best. It was ridiculous. But then he took a hiatus, and then he came back. I think it was this year, or either late last year. He came back for a bit, started a new arc, got about halfway through it, and now he's on hiatus again. And I am. Oh, jeez. It is hard to be a Hunter x Hunter fan, especially if you are caught up with what's available.
I mean, I get that. I think I'm kind of happy with what I got from the show. I might wait. It's kind of like One Piece for me. I want to know how it ends, and then I'll just read the plot synopsises to see what happens.
Right. I'm hoping that he puts out at least like this is what I want to put, like, this is what I want to happen sort of deal, because, man, I just want to know what happens to Gon and Killua, because right now we're back in the manga, we basically just follow Kurapika again, so he's kind of become the main character. I don't really know, like, when that happened, but I think he actually has almost as much screen time as Gon and Killua at this point.
Yeah, well, I was going to say for the Chimera Ant arc, there's a lot of that arc where Gon isn't the focus at all.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Gon is the main character of Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of just think he's the center.
Yeah, he's like the person the plot kind of. He's like a bystander in all the plot and like everything that happens. I think that's kind of what I'd best describe him as, because like he is there for most of the things that happen in some capacity. But he's not the center of any of it, except for maybe the Chimera Ant arc.
Well, even I wouldn't.
He's
call
not
him
the center, but he's
just the
a big
driving
piece
force.
of it. But he's a
Yeah.
It's hard to call him the center
from what I
either
could see-
because like there's a bunch of stuff that happens in that arc, and he's only a
Yeah.
fraction of it.
Well, and from what I can see, he's very He doesn't care about the Camarans as a whole. Like, I don't think he ever even sees the king.
No, I don't think he does see him. I don't think he cares about him.
Yeah, because he just cares about.
He only cares about Pito. I do think that he probably has one of the best character arcs I've ever seen in a shonen style show. Just because he does such a ridiculous heel turn in that arc.
I wouldn't even call it a heel
But
turn.
you kind of feel
we can call it.
You kind of feel it.
We'll throw in a quick. We want to throw. A quick
let's throw
tag?
spoiler. If you didn't watch Hunter x Hunter, it's pretty good. And turn this podcast off and come back to us.
Skim Greed Island.
Mm-hmm.
Skim like the first quarter of the Chimera Ant arc until Knuckle shows up. Knuckle's the best character. I love him.
Shooting Knuckle are pretty great. Yeah, basically when the princes are born, like when the king's retainers are born, is when the Chimera Ant arc actually becomes something.
Yeah. But no, so that power up thing. I am so I don't want to say conflicted, but like my shonen garbage side is just like I'm really glad that they didn't solve, these big baddies with a DBZ Super Saiyan style power up.
Yeah.
Except for when Gon does that power up, it
ruins him. It actually ruins him. I don't know if I can't remember if they explained it in the manga, but he can't use Nen anymore at all.
Yeah, no, they did say in the anime. Wait, he still can't use Nen?
Yeah, in the manga, he actually can't use Nen anymore.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know if Aluka Wish gave him the ability.
It repaired his body, but he can't. As far as I know, he's basically gone back to school at this point. He's just trying to breed. He's like he went back to his home island, and then he's just studying now because he can't use Nen anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
So it legit ruined him. Like I think it was which I thought was just a crazy because he's the only character besides maybe Killua who actually gets a fairly large power up with no drawback. Or sorry, he kind of gets a big power up, but the way why I love Nen so much is that you don't get anything for nothing. There's usually some sort of drawback to every power.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and that's what it was. Was he even said in the anime when he powers up to fight Pito, he's just like, all right, I don't care about this. I'm going to use it all.
Yeah, and that's already kind of how his power worked anyway. Like the way he just has he had a lot of Nen to just kind of throw into his body, but it didn't.
Yeah.
In this case, he just burned all of his Nen all at once, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to obliterate Pito.
Yeah, actually, that was probably my favorite moment in the whole series. That whole that whole everything leading up to it too, when Gon's just losing it, trying not to kill Pito, and how he's he'll kill the girl too if Pito didn't heal her fast enough and stuff. He's the way Gon thinks, and I think I watched a video about this a while ago, and this is why I like him so much, is that he only cares about the people who are close to him. He doesn't really have a moral good or bad. He's just sort of only cares about his own goals and the people who are close to him.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. And that's like I said, he didn't care about the king.
No, he didn't care about the king. He only cares about people who are close to him and his own goals too. For instance, I guess Greed Island's a good example. He lets the that assassin guy who is training them just go, even though he's a mass murderer. They explicitly say that. Dude kills a bunch of people. He's not good, but he trained Gon, so Gon thinks of him as useful, so he's fine.
Yeah, it's something
Gon has a very binary view of the world, and so the whole kite situation really tested him, and that's why he sort of snapped like that.
Yeah. No, and like I said, I like that part, but I'm sorry that the way that the other guards and the king kind of were killed felt
just the bomb and the poison thing.
Yeah, the nuke poison. It just felt, and I mean, at the same time, I really like that again. They didn't have this for as much strategy as that show does, and everybody thinks through things. They were just oh yeah, nuke.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's going to kind of be indicative of how the whole series might end. Is the guy's just going to be I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably not, just because of the way I think they talked about the Dark Continent on the very end of the show. But
they mention
they
it,
mention
yes.
it. That's like a big focus for the rest of the series so far. Is the Dark Continent?
Yeah. Also,
but
okay. Also, like the Zodiacs, I don't. What was their point?
I
know they were only there for that last arc in 10 episodes, but they just all felt like, oh hey, here's 12 powerful Nen users that are strong. Like, okay, the Chimera Ants they say are strong, and then they show you.
But
and then they say like Morel and Nav are strong, but it's like, oh well, they're not that strong. And then they just can wipe the floor with these Chimera Ants that you see all season.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I actually don't know what most of the abilities of the chair like the chair people are, like the people who run the Hunter organization. The only person I actually in the manga, the only person you actually see do anything is the dog lady and Gon's dad.
Yeah. Also, Jing sucks. Can we just?
Oh yeah, Jing's a bad dad. He's like up there with Goku for like worst dads.
Yeah. No. I'm just like when they finally introduced him, I was like, oh look, he's just a garbage.
Yeah, people. No, it's actually funny because I think Togashi did that on purpose. Like I don't think he was ever made to be a good person, because like if you just listen to the things that he does, all he really cares about is exploring and like being a hunter, and like Gon's existence is kind of like almost a inconvenience for him. Like he gives him a little thing like, oh, you can find me if you want, I don't really care. And he just pieces out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the why I like, and this is why I like Hunter x Hunter so much, and this is because, and you can have to correct me if I'm wrong, but like besides Dragon Ball, you're not really a shonen person, right?
I mean, I really like My Hero Academia.
Yeah, but that's like shonen on speed mode, though. That's not like it's not a typical shonen.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I guess like growing up, the big three, I never liked Bleach. I thought Bleach was always so dumb. Naruto I watched for a while, but then I'm very much, maybe I'm the reason that seasonal anime has caught on, because I think that they can tell some of these stories faster.
Yeah.
And Hunter x Hunter wasn't as fillery, I'll say, but they did that thing. Sometimes it just felt like they were kind of not filler, but stalling. Also, it bugs me how much. This is the other thing that really bugged me about the show, is they did so much of that show would be like them just doing slow-mo and then the narrator telling you what's going on, which makes sense if you're reading manga and they need somebody to explain, like, in these still frames, the flow of motion and ideas. Right. But in animation, you can just show that. Yeah,
there's a lot of... That is one thing that Togashi is really bad at, and something that he gets a lot of flack and adoration for, and I think it's kind of a take it or leave it situation, because I'm kind of mixed on it too. He does a lot of telling, not showing, which is kind of a writing faux pas. Like if you most people would say show don't tell if you ever have the opportunity to, especially something with a lot of action. But he does. There's a lot of times, especially in the manga, where he'll just not even. There won't even be pictures. It'll just be writing, just telling. But it's one of those things where, like, the reason why people are okay with it and why people seem to give him a pass for it is because of how, like, really cool his world is and his ability system is. And this is just somebody, if you are into that kind of thing, you'll get, like, if you get geek out about that sort of thing, that's sort of your thing. But man, it can really drag on sometimes. Like when people are just talking about Nen systems and things like that. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
well, not even like the Nen systems. I think it was the scene that I first noticed.
Yeah.
It. Oh, sorry.
I think I know. I was gonna say, I think I know what scene you're talking about. Is the
I don't know. It's not that important of a scene, but it's when they come out of Nov's portal at the base of the stairs, and Yuppie's sitting on the stairs.
No.
And they just
that's what I was going to say, is because that.
Oh, really?
That was the moment I kind of realized it too. Actually, I was like, because I think that was because they were trying to highlight the fact that everything was happening in like a few seconds. But like,
I would have been fine if they like showed the scene at first, then like show the scene,
then like went
and then
back
maybe do a cut to each, each individual character's thought, or have the character narrate their own thoughts instead of just the narrator
coming in and saying it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think overall, I still think I like the show because it's very consumable. I'll say,
right.
Once I kind of got past it, I think the problem is I watched way too much at a time. Because I very much like to binge.
Yeah, I mean, I've binged it twice and I still like it, but I think it's again, you're not super into long form stuff, which I think is fine. I think is A-okay, but like I eat long form shonen type shows up. So it's like it might just be a style you don't enjoy, which I think it was absolutely a-okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like it did it a little bit. I think it didn't even do it that much, but it's that thing that all shonens do, where I'm not filler in the sense of like it, but I know One Piece did this so bad when I tried to watch it during the Whitebeard arc. Is the first 4 minutes of the episode would
just a recap.
2 minutes are the opening. Yeah, first 2 minutes are the opening. First next 3 or 4 minutes are like a recap of what happened. Mm-hmm. It's like 10 minutes of people talking at each other, like very dramatically and slow, and then like a narrator going over. 5 minutes of a cutaway to a B plot, and then 3 minutes for the end credits. Right. So you're only getting like 10 minutes of show per episode. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Again, like I said, I think I still overall would give Hunter x Hunter, I'm going to say like a solid B. Mm-hmm. I would have to go back and watch the beginning.
Yeah, which I mean, I think it's a pretty fair score for somebody who this is not your genre, like that you.
I mean, I like shonen battle stuff. And again, I think like it's more so now that they can make these shows shorter and tell just as good a story. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, there's shows that I think need to go longer. I'm excited My Hero Academia is going to keep going.
Yeah, and they're going to keep doing a 25 episode structure, which I think is nice.
Oh, it is another 25 episode season?
I think I saw that confirmed somewhere.
Yeah.
Which means that we're because like I think they would be missing out on a huge opportunity if they don't end on the United States of Smash. Like if that isn't the thing that ends the season, then man, they're missing out. They did it wrong. Like, yeah, I don't want to just be like, man, I don't want to tell them how to do their show, but like that has to be the way season 3 ends.
Yeah, no, it's premiering pretty soon.
Yeah,
so I think it'll have been premiered by the time this episode airs.
There's a good chance. Yeah, I think April 7th. So. Yeah, we'll have a lot to talk about then, though I guess it would be episode to episode. But,
yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, let's, can we switch gears to video games for a sec?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, so I know I've talked about it on the show a couple times already, but I'm gonna bring it up again, just because I actually finished it this time. Last Guardian, I beat the game. I got the true ending.
Nice.
I am horribly conflicted on that game. That game has made me feel so many things.
Like good, bad,
both,
hate,
both, and yes. I hate that. This is the best game I've ever played that I hate with all of my body and my soul.
I know you said that last time too about some of it.
It's just like there's such good things going on with the Trico boy dynamic that. When you finally get to the end and you figure out everything that happened, everything that's going on, and it's just so underwhelming. Like, it's like, I mean, do you care if I spoil it for you? It's a 2016 game. I guess it's not super old, but it's also not. You're not going to be missing much if I spoil it for you.
Yeah, sure. I think most of our listeners have probably played it. I mean, most of the old ones.
Okay, so all right. So spoilers again. This is a very spoiler episode, so maybe come back to this one if you haven't, or skip past this part if you care about Last Guardian at all. And I'll try to not be as unspecific as possible, so it's not going to like ruin it for you. I'm not going to talk about any major gameplay points, but all right, so you're a little boy, you don't know where you are, and you wake up next to Trico, right? That's the whole premise of the game, and you're in this facility that's inside of a crater or like a volcano or something. Like it's not active, but like you're the wall, like you can't. The only way out of it is by air. In or out is by air, and so you basically spend the whole game getting to a tower where the master of the valley lives, and when you finally get to the master of the valley. He's an orb. He's a green orb. That's it. That's what he is. Oh. I was hoping for something. I don't know what I was hoping for, but it wasn't that. And then you find there's actually a bunch of Tricos, and then you kill the master, you blow up the orb, and then you just run away, and that's like basically the end. And then, but things I love about the game, and these are very hard loves. Like I adore this game for some of the things it tries, like the fact that Trico is probably the most animal-like animal I've ever seen in a game, considering he's a made-up animal that doesn't exist as far as I know.
Yeah,
he /she. I don't really know what it is. But it is a very well animated, and I love the things it does, like the trust you build, the two of you build. Like when Trico is hurt, you feel it. You really do. Like you feel real bad. But I think it's just like the thing that really upset me is the fact that this game is very similar to Ico, but Ico had story payoffs, which is why I like it so much, even though the gameplay is butt.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you get to the end of that game, you really feel it. Like you're like, oh my goodness, the white girl, the super pale girl is gone. I gotta go get her or something. And then you kill them, you kill that lady, and it was pretty cool. But this time it's just, I don't know, it just felt bad. Also, who's the last Guardian? I don't know who the last Guardian is.
Am I the last Guardian?
Yeah.
Was this the last Guardian?
Yeah, am I the last Guardian? There are multiple people. I'm not the only person in the world. That's shown in the story. Trico's not the last Guardian because there's tons of Tricos.
Well, yeah, he's a starter.
Exactly. There's
Trico.
Yep, that's a Pokemon.
It is.
Yeah, but okay, but I don't know. Also, does this fit into the Icoverse? I don't know. Shadow of the Colossus did, so does this one? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played any of them. So
yeah, I wouldn't be getting this upset except for like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus are two of my all-time favorite like narratives in games, so it's just like,
yeah. No, I get that. I mean, it's very, I don't know. That game, I remember people hated that game, I think, when it came out.
Yeah, I mean, people were really...
It's
like one of those things where if you could get over the controls, you'd end up enjoying it sort of games. Because I know a bunch of people who really like the game, but like, yeah, people like Donkey and stuff who hated it because, man, is it frustrating.
Yeah, just hated off the first hour.
Yeah,
really.
because, man, is Trico really frustrating to communicate with, and man, is that little kid some sort of bad. He's so bad to control. I think that is the one thing that really frustrated me the most, is the boy feels real bad to control.
Yeah. I don't know. It's but you did it. Ever say that you don't finish games? I'm going to be playing Okami for the next
Yeah, no, I finished it. Also, I've watched a good few hours of the newest Ni no Kuni. My friend's been playing it, and I've been watching it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but so I have some opinions on that game. I'll keep it brief so we can talk about Pacific Rim for the rest of it, but
yeah, I was gonna say we got one big elephant in the room.
Yeah. I'll keep it brief. If you like collecty JRPGs, you'll probably like Ni no Kuni 2. I don't think it's probably not my cup of tea because the story's really boring. Like, it is like painfully average. But I mean, maybe
people really liked the first one.
Yeah, but the story in the first one was really like, I hated the gameplay in the first one, but there was nothing. The story was really interesting, at least. Like, I thought the premise was super interesting in the first game, and the beginning of the game will make you cry. But this one is just so painfully average. Like, the story is just, I don't care at all about anything that's happening to anybody. Also, I'm pretty sure Evans, the main character, might be the bad guy. He wants to rule the world, but he's like, I want to make sure war never happens again, so I'm just going to take over the whole world. Which, yeah, I'm pretty sure is a bad, like, maybe the game will try and frame him as a good person, but, like, I'm pretty sure that's a pretty not good thing to do. Like, if you have to go to war with the whole world to become the ruler of the whole world to stop war, I'm pretty sure you've become the bad guy at that point, but maybe the game will just
There can't be any wars if I kill everybody.
Exactly. It's just like, oh boy. And I think the game is like trying to frame that as a good thing, and I'm just like, I think the game has a very juvenile idea of what world peace would be like. But
yeah.
It's rated T too, so it's not supposed to be a kid's game. But I don't know. Maybe the story gets better. I've found it hard to care about it. But I'm done ranting about that though. We can move on to the movie that we watched that we both have feelings on.
I have several opinions. Mostly, I think we just need to air our opinions because I think we're both Strangely enough, you and I agree on a movie, and we're in a minority.
Yeah, right. Like usually it's one of the other. Like usually one of us is the dissenting voice there, but
usually me. Let's be real. But no. So well, I saw another movie too. I can talk about it later. I'll just mention it. I went and saw Best Friends.
Oh yeah.
Parentheses the Tommy Wiseau movie. Mm-hmm. It's weird. It's really weird. I saw it with Garrett. Fucking email at us if you want my opinions, because I can go on another Tommy Wiseau rant about it.
Oh boy.
But no, so what, a week or two ago now, we went and saw the new Pacific Rim, and I don't know if people know this about you, Trey, but you fucking love giant robots.
Mecha is one of my favorite genre. I really enjoy mechas.
Yeah, and I do like I like kaiju movies,
like giant monster movies.
Yeah, which is why I'm so mad that modern cinema has killed so many of them between Rampage and...
Hey, Rampage isn't out. You can't say that.
It's gonna suck ass.
Oh, I know, it totally is.
I'll go see... Yeah, I'm gonna go see Rampage, and if I don't hate it, then, I don't know, I'll get something just Trey, you get to smack me in the mouth or something if I don't hate it.
Oh boy.
But, anyway, no, so, talking about Pacific Rim, I didn't hate it.
No, me neither.
A lot of people hated it.
A lot of people hated that movie. I am really surprised. I mean, maybe it's another Bright situation where, like, our opinions are just... Well, you didn't see... Did you see Bright?
Yeah. No, I didn't see Bright. I know Tyler kind of liked
it. I mean, maybe it's like one of the Bright situations where, like, it's not fine cinema. Like, you're not going to go to the movie pictures and go, like, that was a good acting job. Those actors really acted real good that time on the screen type pictures. That's how people talk, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's how I talk when I drive my jalopy with my mom.
Yep, and that's when whenever I come out of a good movie, that's exactly how I talk. But I think it's objectively not a great movie. Like, I don't think you could, like, you're not going to give this movie any awards for good cinema, like, but I enjoyed it. I don't know.
I liked the fights. The plot twist, that I'm not going to say, but I did not see the villain who was actually the villain coming.
I didn't see it either.
I will say the movie had terrible plot whiplash, which is apparently what a lot of people had a problem with.
Yeah, no, the plot points were very fast, like bullet points. Like, it's this one point, it's a point where Boyega, a character dies, I won't say who, and he gets over it really quickly. Like, literally a scene later. Like, not minutes later.
Yeah.
And it's somebody he's supposed to care about, and it's really funny.
Yeah, that part was kind of weird. But again, I think I never came to that movie for the plot.
No, me neither.
I came for... Yeah. Also, like, I know I was watching Mother's Basement video on it, and he said that he really hated how... He said he kind of hated how anime it felt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, that too. A lot of people are actually dissing the fights because I thought they were pretty good. I thought they were fairly faithful to Del Toro's. The robots felt a lot less lumbering than the first movie. Yeah, but it's also like 10 years have passed, so like.
So the technology might have improved, but I mean, like the fight where they fight the robot they fight the fake Gypsy Danger. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. That I didn't hate it.
Yeah, right? I thought it was a good fight. Like, when like he just pulled out the two swords, and I'm like, ooh, this gonna be good.
I mean, there's nothing that topped the pulling out the one sword and forming.
Oh, no. Yeah, like that was fantastic. I think Del Toro, it's hard to top Del Toro when it comes to visuals. Like,
or just the cruise ship. You can't.
Yeah, you like him dragging the cruise ship, or like the part where his fist goes and hits the little the balls in the office. Like.
Yeah, no, I think I need to rewatch the first one.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't so hard to find.
I might just go to Family Video and rent it,
Yeah, because like I want to show my parents it, because like I feel like that would, like, they seem to think it was be stupid, and it is stupid, but I think it's an enjoyable stupid. But yeah, I don't think it ever gets to that height that this first movie got. Like, I think the first movie is a better movie, like, overall, but it's not like the second movie's bad at all. Like, it had a lot of really fun scenes. Like, it's just a fun movie. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I think it's like I just don't get the outrage that you
Yeah,
know. It's not
I
like
think
leaving.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. It's not like leaving. I mean, maybe I just don't get the outrage with a lot of these things. Like, I know the other example, and this is a point that I'm sure will spark debate. But when Ghostbusters 2016 came out, I didn't love it. I didn't get the overall outrage. Besides, like, 4 female Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
But like when people are like, oh, it's a bad movie. Yeah, it wasn't Ghostbusters, but
yeah, I mean,
it's not worth getting mad over.
I didn't see the newest Ghostbusters movie. I do kind of think that I get the idea of why people are angry, but I don't really share this. I don't share this sentiment, like the whole thing where it's like they didn't think they needed to be rebooted, and they were like upset that it was so different. And I kind of understand that in like a sense. In another sense, I'm just like, whatever, don't watch it then. Like,
yeah,
they can't retroactively make the first Ghostbusters worse, so I don't really care like what they do with it. I think this one's a little more like, I think some people are people who like it, or some people who don't like it are calling people who like it kind of like apologists. Like, they're like, oh, this is the reason that the Transformers movies keep getting made, is because like people are like, I didn't go there for the story, I just came there for the fights. But I think the major difference between the Transformers movies and this one is like, it's not insultingly bad. It's just like, I don't care about the story.
Yeah.
I just kind of like the world, and I like the idea of robots fighting monsters. Like, that's what I came for. I wanted to see the cool robots do the cool robot things with the pilots inside.
Yeah, well, and I mean, like, everybody, I don't care what people say. When you went to see the first Transformers movie, you were excited.
Yeah,
people
exactly.
were excited to see that movie, and now people look back and they're like, oh, it's so dumb. And
yeah, people are trying to like retroactively make. I enjoyed the first Transformers movie.
Yeah,
like, I'd never seen a movie like it at that time.
Yeah, and here's where I'll dig my heels in. I guess what I'll say is like I said, I like the second Pacific Rim movie. If they make 2 more, or if they keep making one every year, then I'm not going to see them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Like, I wanted the major difference is I don't want any more Transformers movies. I was good after 3, but they just kept.
I was good after 2. The third one was.
The third one wasn't good, but like that's what I was like. Oh, I'm done after this. But like. I wanted another Pacific Rim. I really wanted another Pacific Rim movie because I really enjoyed the world they had, and I enjoyed the idea of these dual-piloted mechs fighting monsters. And so I got what I wanted, and so now I'm
and then you also got it again in Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same movie, but it's the thought control is real. But what was I saying? I think it's just like one of those things, like, yeah, if I got what I wanted, and like you said, if they just keep pumping these out every year, then yeah, I'll be done. I'll stop seeing it. Like, if they just
or if the director...
If they just make the same movie over and over again, but with different robots, that's not what I'm not going to watch it anymore.
Yeah, or if the director goes like full Michael Bay, where Michael Bay says like, oh, I know that these movies aren't great, but you idiots will still go see them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if the director does that before the third one, where he's like, oh, I just know people are going to love it, then I'm going to get mad then, and I won't see it.
Yeah. Like, but as so far as, is the movie bad, like, is Pacific Rim 2 a bad movie? I wouldn't say so. Like, I don't think it was a great movie, but it's kind of hard to call it a bad movie, too.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at, is I don't know. It's very hard for me to say to, like, I think it's very hard for me to defend anything about this movie to somebody who has like major problems with the plot.
Oh yeah, if you don't enjoy the movie and like the plot really bothers you, then like like you said, I can't save that. There's no defending that. Like, the plot wasn't good, but like if the plot wasn't what you were coming for, and you were just coming for like the big mecha fights and like fun characters, then I think you'll enjoy it. It's just like the kind of mindset you want to come into it. Like, it's the same thing with Bright. I think you would enjoy Bright if you come in just wanting to see like a buddy cop like magic romp with a Orc and Will Smith. Like, I think that's if that's what you wanted, then that's what you'll get with Bright. But if you wanted some like meta narrative on racism, then man, is Bright the worst movie possible. That movie was really bad met with messaging. They had an awful messaging.
Worse than Zootopia or better than Zootopia?
I'd put about the same.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's about as confusing as the Zootopia narrative. I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to get hate mail. I don't want to get people yelling at me fine. Because everybody loves Zootopia, and I thought it was an okay movie that wasn't great.
Hey, that's another contentious opinion we kind of agree on.
you actually
it's just
agree
the
with
Pixar
that?
effect.
Yeah.
I have the Pixar effect. I kind of want to see if it'll happen with Coco. I never went to see Coco.
I never saw Coco either, yeah.
Yeah, but I think I would really like it. But people right now are saying that Coco is the best Pixar movie ever made.
And they say that about every Pixar movie, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, they say that. Well, like every other Pixar movie.
Yeah, anyone that isn't Cars or a sequel that nobody asked for.
The Good Dinosaur was objectively not good.
I didn't see it. I legitimately don't even remember that movie coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, we can rant on Pixar another time, or our contentious opinions.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a contentious opinion you'd like to send to us, email us.
Yeah, I'll read it out loud and then laugh at it.
Yeah, or maybe you agree with us.
In which case, you're right, and
pretty
a scholar.
Sure most of our friends, our friends who are listening to this podcast, if you disagree with us, meet us in person. I'll fight you in real life.
I'll beat you up. I'll put you in the goddamn ground. Anyway. Pacific Rim is a movie that I like. Go see it. 10 out of 10.
I liked it. I'm never going to see it again.
Oh, no, me neither. I'm not going to watch it. I don't think anything... The only scene that I would want to see again, and I might watch a YouTube clip of it, is the scene where they're shooting Gypsy Delta from orbit. I think that was pretty cool.
Yes!
That scene was pretty great. Yeah. I like that a lot. But besides that, everything else was like... I enjoyed it. I don't care. I wouldn't care to see it again.
Yeah, I do have one more complaint, and I know I was making a jackass of myself in the theater, but it's when they started rebuilding the mechas and they replayed the original theme song, and I just cheered in the theater. I was like, yes, yes, and then this girl sitting in front of us just turns around and stares at you. And I'm like, this is for me.
Go watch the movie. This is my moment. I wish they would have used that theme more often. I think that scene was woefully that theme was woefully underused considering how good it is.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know if we have too much else to talk on this week. I think that's
I think we covered about everything this episode. But so I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I got one other.
What?
Yeah, I got one quick announcement. As of probably a week ago now, all of our episodes are also on YouTube.
Oh, yep. I'll make sure to put that in the show notes.
Yeah. So if you have friends who want to catch up on another low effort podcast, but they missed us when we were in our christening stages.
Our prime. We never got better than Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, man, oh my god, that was like 2 months ago.
That was episode 2, my man.
Oh. No, it's episode 3. It was Satan Boy 2.
Oh, yes, it is, you're right.
Yeah, episode 2 was, I don't know. Oh, well. Either way.
Anyway, I'm Trey.
And I am Dan.
Now get out of my house.
Okay.